Alright, hello and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Chapters. Today we are doing the Banu Haqim Chapter 2, Trainwreck. If you saw last time, we played as Banu Haqim Aaron Wissal, who was hunting through the Ottawa train station for a ministry vampire named Nina Barker, who had stolen some items from the sheriff. We have tracked her down onto this train to Toronto. We have recovered the documents that she stole, but we still have to complete our contract and kill her. So, I've got everything set up here. One thing you will note if you wind up playing this yourself later, on the setup notes, it indicates to put a third investigation token, which is why I've got this right here. That being said, according to the errata, which again, notes will be in the description, that is not set up at game start. That comes in later into the map. So, all right, all of our things are exactly as they were at the end of the last round, as per the end of the last chapter. We have used 1 willpower. We have 1 hunger. We've taken no damage. We have the brass knuckles weapon, the mild friend pistol, the old boots for increased movement, our train ticket, and our luggage. We no longer have the celerity potion because it wears out, and we weren't able to go buy anything else from Alex. I think that's pretty much it. So let's hop back into it. Trainwreck. You know Nina Barker's here, somewhere on the train. As busy as it is with passengers, it's maybe your best shot to destroy her somewhere discreetly, perhaps in an isolated seat or between 2 carriages. Fulfill the terms of your contract. The one thing you want to avoid is any blatant masquerade breaches in such a confined yet crowded space. Check your gun, then you check the faces of the people in your carriage. None of them are Nina Barker, but she can't be far. Objective: kill Nina Barker without breaching the masquerade. Read Event 1. Each round, move the ticket collector NPC to a new hex according to the image below. This guy here is our ticket collector. According to this, which I guess we're on another countdown then, at 8 he'll move there, 6 he'll move there, 4 he'll move there, and then 2 he'll move there. So basically he'll just move down the line. Checking tickets, as a ticket checker should. So, Event 1. All aboard. Train thunders along the line, Toronto bound. You have a reasonable amount of time before the next stop, and it would be more tactically sound to locate her before you stand a chance of losing in Toronto. Train isn't particularly crowded, not this time of night. The last drags among the Ottawa commuters are en route to Toronto. The train has that funk about them, implies a hard day of travel. Can't see much through the windows, the night draping everything in darkness. Set the round tracker to 10. Move the ticket collector NPC when the round tracker reaches 8, 6, 4, and 2 according to the image. If a masquerade breach occurs, you must read Event 2, otherwise resume playing. Dialogue NPCs are the ticket collector, the security guard, and the passengers. So these 3 are dialogue NPCs. Let's make our way towards the action. 1, 2. Action 1. Page 66. An opportunity to feed. As you make your way through the carriage, you spot a sleeping young woman propped in her seat between a guitar case and the train window. You could probably get away with a quick drink from the musician without anyone noticing. Your beast certainly agrees, growling in your heart that blood is blood and you don't know the next time you have the opportunity to feed. Decrease the round tracker by 1. So we are now at 9. Feed from the sleeping musician, read E4, or otherwise remove the action token from the tile and resume playing. Well, we've got 1 hunger, and I think, sorry about that, my camera crashed while I was checking. The second piece of errata for this chapter is actually about this action that if you feed from her, you actually get 2 blood as if she were a Prey NPC. But we've only got 1 hunger, so we are definitely going to do that, so that will just be at base. And honestly, if I realized she was going to be the one to heal... I'm not hurt. I have willpower damage, right? Okay, good feat. You lean over her sleeping form and don't have a second thought before biting into her exposed forearm as gently as you're able. You drink deeply, taking what you need, but leave the sleeping musician largely unharmed. She hasn't woken up. You could take more if you wanted. Decrease your hunger by 1 or feed further from the musician. We are... So like I said, it actually is decreasing hunger by 2. So that already takes us at 0. So we're not going to bother feeding more. If we want to, though, we could go to event 5. Otherwise, remove action token 1 from the tile and resume play. Boop. All right. So now, let's move for action 2. 1, 2, 3. Page 72. Lethal squabbles. Give me the fucking knife. On one side of the aisle, a white guy with bad skin, stringy hair, gestures with his hand stretched to the man on the other side. Fuck you, it's my turn with the knife. His bearded companion keeps hold of the blade, which you see is just a kitchen knife. Bad skin lunges across the aisle of beard, trying to wrestle the knife from him. Just give me the fucking knife already. Increase the round tracker by 1. Remove action token. Okay, so... he moves between them. Try to disarm them or ignore them. I'll remove action token 2. Make a physical plus brawl check, difficulty 3. Get success read 10, failure read 11. Well, we've got 3 dice and we've got 2 automatic successes, so you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this, because I bet we can take the knife. And that's 5 successes. E10, grab the knife. You interfere this pair of dueling morons by grabbing the knife from them before pointing at them both in turn. Don't play with knives. You slide the knife into your jacket pocket. It can prove a useful weapon in busy terrain, certainly more discreet than a handgun. If you're in the tick collector NPC's line of sight without step token, you must read E14. 1, 2. I think we might be out of his line of sight because these are solid walls between us and him. I'm going to look at the rulebook real quick and confirm. Okay, well, it says if you can trace an unbroken line from him to any part of your base, which we can, so we are in his line of sight. Read E14. Spotted. As you slide the knife in your pocket, you look up to find Tick Collector staring right at you. You need to hand that weapon over to me right now. You're not permitted to carry weapons on a train, sir. The rail worker looks worried. It's not easy to demand something from a clearly armed individual, but the power is in your hands. Decrease the round tracker by 1. If you have the wanted 55 effect card, you must read E16. which we don't. You can make a social plus intimidation check to make him ignore you with difficulty 2, or you can hand over the weapon, which is E17. You know what? We've actually got pretty good weapons right now, so we don't necessarily need the knife. So we can just hand it over, E17. I didn't want it anyway. You slowly draw the knife from your jacket. It'd be a simple thing to just open the woman's throat and move on, but you've already drawn enough attention. Said you turn over in your hand, pass it to the rail employee you handle first. Apparently the rail employee is supposed to be, even though it's an old man on the actual token, apparently it's a woman. I just disarmed these two. Of course you can have the knife. Ticket collector thanks you, putting the knife in his shoulder bag. And see? It'd be a simple thing to just open this woman's throat and move on. The ticket collector thanks you, putting the knife in his bag. So looks like that might have just gotten missed. I'm sure that'll be found though. Discard the kitchen knife item card. We didn't get it. Read ticket collector dialogue D1. I'm going to assume for simplicity that the ticket collector, well, no, we won't move him yet, but he's probably right in front of us. Ticket collector. Now, sir, the ticket collector forces a smile across his tired face, clearly not wanting any trouble at the end of a long shift. Please, could I see your ticket? Start patting your pockets. You don't want your objective delayed any further. You have the train ticket, item 74 card, read D3, which we do. Enjoy your trip. Here, you pass the ticket over you acquired back at the station, mainly looking over the rail employee's shoulder for any sign of Nina Barker. Marks your ticket, passes it back. Thank you very much. And then he's moving on. You feel pleased with yourself to prepare this much. At least it's one less obstacle to surmount. Take the driven effect card, which is card number 45. Driven. Keep your eyes on the prize. Discard to decrease your willpower tracker by 1. So, actually, no, we're just going to use that. No, we'll save that. We'll hang on to that. No, we'll use it immediately. Okay. Remove the ticket collector from the tile. Boop. Okay, so now let's go to investigation 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Investigation 1, page 53. Scanning the carriage. As you enter the carriage, you take a good but discreet look around to see if you can spot Nina Barker. You don't particularly want to tap every person in here on the shoulder, asking if they're the vampire you're looking for. Plus, you have reason to believe Barker can identify a vampire by just looking at them, so you're being deliberately circumspect. Increase round tracker by 1. Make a mental plus awareness check. 0 to 2 successes, redying 2. 3 plus successes, redying 1. So we have 1 automatic success, and we have 3 dice to work with. 2, 3, 4 successes, redying 1. Scanning the carriage. You look down the carriage. The woman at the far end isn't Barker. She's television detective Suzanne Roy. You'd recognize that nose anywhere, and you have a strong urge to speak with her. You're confident Barker is the woman sat near the center of the carriage, currently staring at the window as the world passes by. She doesn't appear to have seen you yet. Take clue token number 3. Okay. Take clue token number 3, set action token number 3, passenger number 5 NPC, passenger number 6 NPC, passenger number 7 NPC, and passenger number 8 NPC on the designated hex. Remove investigation area token. Okay, so action token 3, let's get all of that set up. Okay, that took a little bit longer than I hoped for. Thomas, real quick, as a friendly suggestion, probably too far in the development of Retaliation for this to come through, but possibly for whatever next World of Darkness game comes after Retaliation. Obviously, during setup, you've got the list of NPCs that are kind of key to it for getting set up. Maybe you could put in just like a side spot on the chapter introduction of just a list of NPCs that might be found based on your actions in the chapter, just so that you can have all the NPCs pulled out. Because I know I've seen online that the amount of NPCs is kind of a rough thing for trying to find them. I know some people have started doing like baggies or little containers where it's like in groups of 10 to make it easier, which is, I'm probably going to do baggies myself. I just haven't done it yet. But like right now, unseparated, it takes a lot to go through and try and find the specific ones you need. I mean, even with having separated by 10s, it would still take a little bit of time just to find the specific ones. So, you know, just a friendly thought. I'm sure you guys have talked about some stuff along the way for kind of how to make improvements, because I know that there have been a lot of talk from people about various things on there. Just my 2 cents, you know, take it or leave it as it is. It's fine. Okay, so this guy, or no, wait, I already removed that guy. This guy who was right there is now moving here. She is moving right here. She is moving there. And she is moving here. Yes, right there. Okay. Oh, and we need clue token 3. Clue token 2. Clue token 4. Heck. 3. There's 3. I don't know if we still need clue token 1, but it said not to get rid of anything, so I didn't. Okay, so clue token 3, we've got that. We have investigation area 1 from the tile. There we go. Resume playing. It doesn't say to lower the round tracker any more than we already would have to. Okay, let's go do investigation 2 real quick, just because we're right here. See if that helps us narrow it down, and then we'll try talking to this lady, who I think is the detective. Page 57, luggage compartment. This part of the carriage is empty and could be a good place to deposit luggage if you have any, rather than carrying it to an assassination. You ponder a moment. There's truly an advantage to carrying luggage around when you're trying to murder someone. If you have the luggage item 73 card, which we do, you may leave it here. Read Iron 1. If not, remove investigation area 2. So, Iron 1. You're content to leave the luggage containing Duval's stolen documents in this compartment. Nobody's sitting here and won't be moving far from its location. and you won't be moving far from its location. Better this than find someone holding a suitcase. Still, you find yourself looking over your shoulder at this valuable item as you walk away from it. Discard luggage. Oh, and we discarded the train ticket. Take clue token number 2. Remove investigation area token from the tile. Clue token 2. I just saw you a second ago. So we've got those 2. All right. Brings us down. Let's go talk to her. 1, 2, 3. Which I believe she was passenger number 7. Nope. 36. Yes. As you stand in the aisle, attempting to look unassuming, you take this woman in, all hunched up in her oversized hoodie. Yes, she's definitely a Barker. Your job isn't to interrogate, but to eliminate. But she must know some valuable information. You open your mouth to speak to your intended victim. If you have luggage item card number 73, you must read event 28. We don't. If you have clue token number 1, you can attempt to intimidate her and to join you in a quieter part of the train. We don't. Unless... Real quick, because... Hang on. If you have clue tokens 3 or 4, you must keep them. Okay, so I'm guessing that there was another clue token that we'd find here that we aren't going to find, because apparently we already found her. So, ask Barker why she stole from Caleb Duvall. Read dialogue 2. I want to know why. You stand over Barker, who slowly turns her head and looks you up and down. I recognize you from the station. You nod, show the handle of your weapon. Tell me why you stole from Duvall. She grins, revealing long hooked fangs like those of a cobra. I was never one of his Camarilla set, but then again I suppose he's not either. Montreal kindred and you, little assassin, are foolish to trust him. Suddenly she's lunging at you. Passenger number 6 NPC uses the Nina Barker 86 state card. Combat begins. There's a lot of people around. This might be a masquerade breach. Okay. Nina Barker, number 86 state card. Okay, so we've got Nina. She has 4 movement, 3 line of sight. She attacks closest because we are playing alone. She has 3 initiative, which is the same as Aaron. She has 2 resistance, 2 attack. Her bite attack does poison. I mean, she's a Setite. Poison's kind of the thing. Okay. Combat begins. If you win, read event 35. If you lose, read event 36. So, we will sit that there. I think right now... So the pistol gives us extra range and +1 die, but if I use the brass knuckles, then I can use my corrosive blood to get +2 dice. So I think we're going to go more towards melee. Also, probably less noticeable to use melee. So let's grab, we get 6 cards. Let's get Hook, which is a mix. Let's go Hook, High Kick, which is a straight attack. Dodge. Punch. So we've got one straight attack, one straight defense, two mixes. Slow Kick, which is another mix. So that's 5. We get one more. And we'll go with Epon, which is another mix. Okay. So, got her cards shuffled up. So we'll give her 1. And we are going to start this off with, we're going to rouse the blood first for corrosive blood. We do not get hungrier, so we add 2 dice to an attack made with a melee weapon card. So we've got 3 dice to start, plus 2, plus 1 from the brass knuckles, and she's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's got 8 XP. We've got 2 automatic damage. She has 2 resistance. So we're going to do High Kick because it'll give us 2 more dice. So, all right. So she is not going to do anything that's going to increase her resistance. Let's see some high numbers. I would love it if I could do this in one hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 brings us to 8 total. She would only take 6. You know what? We'll spend a willpower to re-roll these 3. Because we can. 7. We'll spend another willpower to re-roll those 2. We got 3 more, so... Because honestly, if I can end this in one shot, it'd be great. There we go. There's 9. So 11 damage. She is out with the first hit. She would have done a bite attack, which would have poisoned us. So 1 and done. She is unconscious. At least I'm saying she's unconscious because I just beat the crap out of her. Read event 35. Contract complete. Nina Barker reaches out for you. She disintegrates into ash. Her fingers grasping at your collar before they dissolve to ash. She coughs her last words at you. Duval, fucking Montreal liar, before she meets her final death. Scattered across the train seats, table, and aisle. Yeah, here's that masquerade breach. If passenger number 5, 7, or 8 is on the tile, you must read E38. Visible bloodshed. You scoop up a handful of Barker's ashes as evidence of your successful execution. You feel conscious of the people watching you. There were witnesses to your conflict, which means you're going to have to make a hasty retreat. You slam your hand on the emergency fire alarm button and make your way to the train doors. Mission accomplished, you smile to yourself as the train slows down, the wheels screeching and squealing on the track. Take the loose ends effect card. I mean, let's be honest, eventually there was going to be a Masquerade breach. Loose ends. You left witnesses behind. It's only a question of time before your blunder exposes all. At the end of the chapter, either spend 2 boons or roll a red die. On a skull symbol, a Masquerade breach occurs. Okay. If you have clue token number 2, which we got clue token number 2, didn't we? We had number 2 and number 3? Hang on. Yeah, clue token number 2. I don't know where clue token number 2 went, but we got it because we put the luggage away. Anyway, read E for you. Can't forget this. Just as the train comes to a halt and you open the door of the cold outside, a thought occurs to you, the suitcase. No matter what it contains, and no matter how incriminating those documents may be for Duval, he's still your employer and on this contract at least. You pick up the suitcase, climb down from the train. Just as the driver starts making his way back to the train, investigate the region the emergency fire alarm was pulled. Gain 1 status. You can now read the conclusion on the back of the narrative page. Well, before we do that, at the end of the chapter, either spend 2 boons or roll a red die. On a skull symbol, a Masquerade breach occurs. You know what? We're going to go for it because there's a part of me that wants to see what happens if a Masquerade breach occurs. And it does not. So we have no Masquerade breaches. Conclusion. Your contract is complete. You reflect on what you knew of your victim. Barker was a mainstay of Montreal, going back at least as far as the previous regime. If she'd been accepted into the Camarilla fold, what could have compelled her to betray Duval and risk on life? You shrug to yourself. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. A target's a target, and kindred have a habit of earning each other's enmities over the years. You look forward to returning home and receiving the payment Duval promised you, your sire's Karambet knife. According to the sheriff, your sire had handed it over to settle a debt between him and Duval. Sheriff promised his payment once Nina Barker was no more. Your memories of your sire are fleeting. This knife holds far greater value than anything else in the world. Perhaps even more than the city you call home. Reward, gain 2 XP each. So, we're going to mark on here that we've got 36. And then we're also going to mark it on Gabriel's sheet. Damn it, we still need 2 more XP before we can bump physical up. Discard the ticket and luggage item cards if you possess them. We did that. Take the Karambit 68 item card for Aaron Wissal. Wissal. Karambit, when combined with a weapon combat card, +1 die to your weapons check. Honestly, not really much extra, but hey, I'm sure it has something with him. Adjust your XP total so you have as much XP as the rest of the coterie. Don't forget to add the XP gain theme this year. Okay, so it looks like you're not supposed to... Okay, so good to know for the future ones. It looks like when you come into the expansion characters chapters, you treat them as if it's just a straight up prologue, so you haven't spent XP yet. So none of the stuff that I bought, I should have bought. Good to know. But it is what it is. We did what we did, and here we are. You may now return to the main storyline, which we are not going to do. Our next chapter that we're going to do is the side chapter. Side quest, Ancient Paths to Smell a Rat. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you are continuing to enjoy the game. we have just unlocked our first expansion character for the full game. And next time we'll be back to playing as Gabe as we go investigate the sewers for the Nosferatu. I think his name was Enoch, was it? Enzo. Enzo is in the sewers with the rats. So we're going to investigate that for Enzo next time, and hopefully at the end of that we'll have enough XP to get Gabe a 3rd level of physical dots, so that we get more health and we have access to more attack cards. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.